You look the incredible treat to me.
But it's very running out.
Oh, well, thank God.
Yeah,
Make sure you have your exits.
YouTube videos.
I'm sure you want. Oh, we got a couple of minutes.
Let me get under there.
We have about 3 minutes.
Got it.
Yeah, phone book.
But anytime you're ready, talk about it. Oh, it's done, and I get it. You see a side that I don't have to see. So. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
No, I have one set. Okay, I'd like to call that's the 15th meeting of this particular year. And this is the October 25th, 2021 Village Board meeting in the Village of Depew, 7 o'clock. We have the Pledge of Allegiance from Trustee Kasavage.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And tonight, please remain standing. Our invocation is Deacon Alan Strauss from Christ the Holy Servant.
Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, send down upon those who hold office here at Depew the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all people. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
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 Thank you, Deacon. If you have anything you'd like, we usually offer a couple minutes. If you want to have some, let us know some things are happening at your church.
Yeah, well, one thing that we're excited about is every Monday and Tuesday night at Christ the Holy Servant, we have Al-Anon meetings for any of those that need to.
Great. Thank you for being with us tonight.
You're very welcome.
Where's the church located?
Where's,
Right across the street. It's directly across from the Vine.
This is the one we had the fire at.
Yes.
That we had to recognize the young man who for calling that in.
Absolutely, yeah. And he happens to be a good friend of my son, so I live right upstairs.
Oh, very good. Well, then you were very glad that that happened, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Plus, you're right next to the bakery.
Yeah.
Okay, notification of fire exits.
The emergency exits are located to the left and to the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in an orderly fashion to the exits and evacuate the building.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Hammerner?
Here.
Trustee Ziamba?
Here.
Trustee Kasevich?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Stempniak?
Here.
Mayor Peterson?
Here. Approve the village board meeting minutes of October the 12th, 2021.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we approve the village board meeting minutes from October 12th, 2021.
Second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, tonight, we'll go through what's on the agenda, and anything that I read off on the agenda, you're able to make a public comment or a question on before we get started. And then general comments and questions will be handled later on in the evening, towards the end of the meeting, after we've had our guests and reports from our departments that are here. Tonight, we're missing quite a few people. Some people are out sick. People are at work. Code enforcement's on vacation. Rec was here. Did he leave? Did he have to
I
leave?
think he took a phone call.
Oh, took a phone call, okay. All right, so tonight, we have a public hearing on community development block grant monies that is for use on the Cheektowaga side of the village. And for those, just to understand how that works, it's on our low to moderate income area, and it's bounded that particular, the only area there that it's actually applicable and can be used is between Broadway, south to Zurbrick, east to Transit, west to Borden. It's not a lot of area there. We had gotten creative with this money that comes from the federal government and is distributed to the village through the town of Cheektowaga. We typically get $100,000 every year to work with. And back in 2015, we were able to find a way to use that money to fund our senior center program. That covers our driver's salary, our director's salary, as well as her helper, as well as some of the things that get purchased throughout the year. So that's a big savings to the village, even though the senior center's on the Lancaster side of the village. It benefits seniors that live on both sides of transit in both towns. So it's a little bit of a quirk, but we're able to use our money that way. Last year, we devoted that half to purchasing the new senior center bus that we use. So we have a brand-new vehicle that theoretically for the next 3 years should not need any maintenance costs, which was important. And then the other $50,000 goes to continue our sidewalk repair projects in those areas. And this year is in the South Bellevue
South
Street.
Bellevue, yes.
Yep, South Bellevue Street. Then we'll bring number 2 tonight is permission to sign that agreement, which is due on Monday next week. Third item up is permission to sign the Community Development Block Grant Agreement on the Lancaster side. And there was no public comment on that the last time. And the project that we're looking to do is a continuation down here on Gould, on the south side of Gould, those sidewalks there, as well as new sidewalk repair in front of the new all-inclusive playground area that's currently being constructed on West Dawson. So that's between Columbia and Olmsted. And these would be the sidewalks in front on Columbia. That's what that project is. Tonight, we also are making an appointment to our police lieutenants, who they were provisionally given the position earlier this year. They needed to go and study hard and pass the exams, and are happy to say that all 3 of them were successful. So they're here tonight. Number 5 is approve a seeker agreement. Again, this is something very big and dear to our village attorney to make sure that we do this. These items come up before Planning and Zoning Board. Number 6 is approve longevity payments, which are, in this case, for non-union members. There's 1, 2, looks like 6 of them throughout our village employee list that have more than 5 years' worth of employment here in the village and are eligible for a longevity payment. Number 7 is authorized garbage and recycling tote rate increases. So if new residents are looking to purchase a tote, whether it's recycling or garbage, or they're adding to their inventory for those 2 items, we had to go out and buy new additional ones. Our inventory has been depleted. The pricing has gone up for a number of reasons, obviously, just like everything else. Plus, we also had gotten an extremely aggressive discount when we first purchased the totes, which we piggybacked off the Cheektowaga town contract. And so when we were selling them, up until this point, we were selling them at a substantially less price than they're going to be going forward. The idea is that if you need to purchase a tote, you're actually paying for what the cost is truly cost the village. It shouldn't cost the village taxpayers who aren't needing a new tote to subsidize that. So if you need a new tote, the responsibility for the cost is on who's ever asking for it. just like it was back in 2012 when we started the program. It was added to our taxes, and it was the actual cost. Next up, number 8. Authorized GHD. This is to complete an engineering report for our sewer DEC consent order, sewer phase 5 and sewer phase 6 project. Is this the one we need the supermajority?
No,
14,
no.
right?
15.
Agenda item 9, we put our 3 of our police vehicles up for auction. And between the 3 vehicles, 2 were 2017 Ford Explorers and 1 was a 2018. And between the 3 of them, they all sold for $34,100, which comes back to the village. Item number 10, authorize the mayor to sign tree inventory and community forest management plan. I will defer to Deputy Mayor Stepniak. This has been her project.
Yeah, so we got a grant for this last year, I think like mid last year. So we're actually going to execute the project in the next few weeks. So we just need to sign the bid to actually accept it before we have our kickoff meeting next week.
And again, just for the public, it's a inventory of trees on village property.
Yep.
Yep.
So all the village-owned trees.
Agenda item number 11, change of zoning board meeting date to Thursday, November 11th being Veterans Day, and Thursday, November 25th being Thanksgiving Day. There will be one November meeting, and that's November 18th, 7 o'clock. Item number 12, permission for membership to the Depew Fire Department. It's a member going to the West End Hose Company, number 6. Agenda item number 13, permission again for the fire department. This is granted to take Engine 2 to attend an interior firefighting operations course at the Erie County Fire Academy. And permission is granted to take Engine 3 to an interior firefighter operations course. Recently put to the agenda is item number 14, resolution regarding potential Broadway solar project. This came onto the agenda on Friday. So as if you've been traveling on Broadway, you know, between Twin Village Salvage and, let's say, the ice cream shop, all of that property has been leveled and is starting to be filled in with material to cover the old Village of Depew reclamation dump site in anticipation of solar panels being put on the property by Depew Company, National Solar Technologies. It's a project that's been worked on for the last couple of years, so you'll actually be seeing solar panels being put up there. What this resolution tonight is that they've approached the village again for additional property. We have 20 acres remaining of the 35, and they're interested in 13 acres, approximately 13 acres more, in which they're interested to lease. However, they want, this resolution forbids the village from going out and trying to solicit another buyer or another person, another company that gives them time to get the project approved from New York State. So New York State Electric and Gas. So this is a good, we've done this before, it gives them the ability to go through the paperwork, and we're very happy to be working with Depew Company, National Solar Technology, and we're excited that they're interested in some more of the, that particular, what was vacant and useless property as far as the village goes, and we're putting something back on the tax rolls. It'll still leave the village with approximately 7 acres of prime waterfront real estate along Cayuga Creek. So somewhere down the road, the thought process is that we could work with like the Ralph Wilson Foundation to further develop that, to make it into a small pocket park of some type. So that's down the road. The DEC wasn't all that thrilled about it initially, but they may come around. And number 15, new number 15, is the bond resolution. Terry, I'll leave that one to you.
This bond resolution is regarding our sewer project. It's our 6th phase, and the phase area is Ream Road. This is just another step into the process of beginning the whole engagement of it, which is financing and looking at the projections, looking at what construction can be done, and getting it all started. So it's been in the works for quite a long time. Now it's coming to time to actually open that area up. So that's all that really is.
Okay. So that is our agenda items for tonight. If you need to talk about or would like to talk about the Community Development Block Grant public hearing, save those until we get into the meeting. But items 2 through 15, any of those, if you have a question, just come to the microphone, state your name and address, and ask us your question. Okay, I take that I explained most of those pretty well then. I appreciate that. So we will proceed with item number 1 on the agenda, which is the public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant projects on the Cheektowaga side of the village.
Public hearing will be held on Monday, October 25th, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the Depew Village Hall Chambers, Council Chambers, regarding the use of federal community development funds in the Village of Depew. Village of Depew is eligible for a federal community development grant under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The purpose of the hearing is to provide opportunity for citizens to express their community development and housing needs and to discuss possible projects which would benefit low and moderate income persons in the Village of Depew, Town of Cheektowaga side. Citizens are urged to attend this meeting to make known their views and or written proposals on the Village of Depew's selection of potential projects to be submitted for possible funding by the Federal Community Development Grant Program. The meeting room is wheelchair accessible, and those needing special arrangements should call the village at 683-7451.
Okay, Eric, if you could open up the public hearing.
Yep. Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we open the public hearing on October 25th at 7:18 p.m.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. So if anybody has any ideas you'd like to share with us for a project that could use this money in our low to moderate income area on the Cheektowaga side of the village, and as was stated earlier, it's bounded by Broadway south to Zurbrick, and to the east is Transit, and to the west is Borden. It's too bad it's not on the north side of Broadway and could include our park there, but it's not.
Not yet.
No. Okay, anybody might want to have a project they want to talk about? We're currently proposing, as we stated, funding our senior center program, including the labor salaries as well as the projects that might go on there throughout the year, and doing an additional $50,000 worth of sidewalk repair work on South Bellevue. Anybody has any other projects, perhaps? Any other projects? Okay, Erica, if you could close that.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we close the public hearing at 7:19 p.m.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Agenda item number 2, permission to sign Community Development Block Grant Subrecipient Agreement for 2021 on the Cheektowaga side of the village.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved that Mayor Kevin Peterson is authorized to sign, submit, and execute a contract with the Community Development Block Grant for the following projects upon approval of ECC DBG project ranked: sidewalk replacement and senior center expenses in the Village of Depew, Town of Cheektowaga.
Second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stepnia,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 3, authorize the mayor to sign Community Development Block Grant Subrecipient Agreement 2021 on the Lancaster side of the village.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved that Mayor Kevin Peterson is authorized to sign, submit, and execute a contract with the Community Development Block Grant for Erie County for the following projects upon approval of the ECCDBG project rank. Sidewalk replacement on the south side of Columbia Avenue and the west side of Lincoln Street, and an additional 600 feet on Gould Ave heading west towards Transit on the south side of the street in the village of Depew, town of Lancaster.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stepnia,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 4, appoint police lieutenants. Pursuant to section 4-400 of village law, I, Mayor Kevin Peterson, do hereby appoint Rochelle Menard, Adam Van Kuren, and John Thompson to the position of police lieutenant from the Civil Service Exam number 71-192 list. And I need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stepnia,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
And Lieutenant Menard, Lieutenant Van Kuren, Lieutenant Thompson, if you stand, and Chief Miller.
Yes. All these three officers, Lieutenant Menard, stand up so everybody sees you here. Lieutenant Van Kuren and Lieutenant Thompson, they're all selected early in this year based on their experience, professionalism, knowledge of the job, and leadership skills. Prior to them being appointed, there was nobody on an active lieutenant list. So when we selected these, they had a caveat: they had to pass the exam, and they had to score where we could reach them on the list. They did that successfully, and today we just made this position permanent. So congratulations to all of you. You deserve it.
I've always said that our police department is always Depew's finest. So very proud of you. Thank you.
Yes, good job.
Do you have
right.
what's their
All right, sit down.
assignments there? Chief,
Yes, sir.
what's their assignments?
Yeah, they have their assignments, sir.
Yeah, okay. It's a secret, so.
Keep an eye on this guy.
Congratulations, all three of you. Agenda item number 5. This is approve the seeker.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas the Village of Depew is currently under an order of consent with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation to address sanitary sewer overflow in the village's sanitary sewer collection system. And whereas the village completed a sanitary sewer evaluation survey in sewer ward 4 and sewer shed 4 and sewer shed 5 to identify potential corrective actions. And whereas the Village of Depew Board of Trustees is considering various improvements to correct sewer system defects and reduce inflow and infiltration, and whereas the Board of Trustees is seeking funding assistance under the New York State Clean Water State Revolving Fund and is therefore subject to environmental review obligations required to participate in the funding program. And whereas pursuant to sections 617.5C1, 617.5C2, and 617.5C6 under seeker, this project is a type 2 action as it involves the maintenance, repair, and replacement in kind of existing sewer infrastructure with no substantial change to the existing sanitary sewer collection system. Now therefore, be it resolved that this type 2 action under seeker, the project has been found categorically not to have sufficient adverse impacts on the environment and no further review under seeker is required.
I second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stepnia,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 6, approve the longevity payments.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas the employee handbook requires longevity payments to non-union personnel to be approved by the village board. Be it resolved, longevity payments as per the current budget for the 2021-2022 be approved for the following. Melissa Dabb, $950. Bill Kerr, $1,525. Tim Norick, $1,350. Jerry Miller, $1,450. Margie Brzezinski, $550. And Ken Pick, $1,969.56. These payments will be paid to the employees the first payroll after this resolution is passed.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stepniak,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 7, authorized garbage and recycling tote rate increase.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution, move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the 95-gallon tote replacement rate for residents of the Village of Depew will increase to $90 per tote. Be it further resolved, the 65-gallon tote replacement rate for residents of the Village of Depew will increase to $60 per tote.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stepniak,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Agenda item number 8,
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas the Village of Depew engaged GHD to complete an engineering report for the village's sewer Phase 5 and sewer Phase 6 projects, identifying the current wastewater disinfection systems, the system's shortcomings, the proposed infrastructure improvements necessary to improve performance, and the projected cost for residents for the district. And whereas affordability for the village residents and property owners is a significant concern in advancement of the proposed property or project, and whereas the village is eligible for clean water state revolving loan and grant-based funding upon the draft 2022 state revolving fund intended use plan ranking, and the village's desire to submit a competitive application to obtain WIA funding to assist with making the project economically viable to the village's sewer users. Now therefore be it resolved, 1, the village board authorizes Municipal Solutions, Inc. to prepare an application for Water Infrastructure Improvement Act grant funds from the New York State Environmental Facilities Corp. 2, the village board authorizes Kevin Peterson and Terry Wakowiak in her role as village administrator to execute the application and any necessary supporting document required for the Water Infrastructure Improvement Act grant funds from the New York State Environmental Facilities Corp. And 3, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
I second that motion.
We can.
get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stepniak,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 9, approve the auction results.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution, move for its adoption. Be it resolved that the results from Auctions International online auction ending 10/13/21 totaling $34,100 are approved. Lot 1, 2018 Ford Explorer SUV, Police Interceptor, parts cars, $11,100. Lot 2, 2017 Ford Explorer SUV, Police Interceptor, parts cars, $11,100. Lot 3, 2017 Ford Explorer SUV, Police Interceptor, parts cars, $11,900.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stepniak,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Authorize the mayor to sign the tree inventory and community forest management plan.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved that Mayor Kevin Peterson is authorized to sign, submit, and execute a contract with Depew Resource Group, 10 Mitchell Street, Sinclairville, New York, 14782.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick.
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba.
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stumpia.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution 11, permission to change the zoning board meeting dates.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution, move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the zoning board of appeals meetings that are originally scheduled for Thursday, November 11th, 2021, Veterans Day, and Thursday, November 25th, 2021, Thanksgiving Day, will be held together at one November meeting on Thursday, November 18th, 2021.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Agenda item 12, permission for membership to the Depew Fire Department.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, membership is hereby granted to the following in the Depew Fire Department pending the passing of his physical. West End Hose Company Number 6, Evan M. Astron.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick.
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba.
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stumpia.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Agenda item 13, permission for the fire department.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas permission is hereby granted to the Depew Fire Department to take engine number 2 to attend the Interior Firefighting Operations course at the Erie County Fire Academy, 3359 Broadway in Cheektowaga, New York, on October 30th, 2021 from 8 a.m. to noon. And whereas permission is hereby granted to Depew Fire Department to take engine number 3 to attend the Interior Firefighting Operations course at the Erie County Fire Academy, 3359 Broadway in Cheektowaga, New York, on November 7th, 2021 from 8 a.m. to noon.
I second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick.
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba.
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stumpia.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item 14, resolution regarding potential Broadway solar project number 2.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas National Energy Development LLC, who previously purchased through a related entity, 4293 Broadway LLC, approximately 15 acres of land on the closed landfill referred to as the Old Land Reclamation Landfill, located at 4309 Broadway in the Village of Depew, for the development of a solar energy development. And whereas in a aforesaid sale of land, the Village of Depew retained ownership of the rear portion of the site. And whereas by letter dated October 21st, 2021, from Peter Sorge, Esquire, attorney for National Energy Development LLC, to the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, National Energy Development LLC expressed an interest to lease approximately 13 acres of the aforesaid land retained by the village for an expansion of the solar development, and National Energy Development LLC has asked the village board to authorize the mayor to execute the following documents, all of which are non-binding, in the order to commence the first step in the solar energy development process, to submit said forms to NYSEG to see if there is capacity in the grid for such a project. 1. Letter of intent. 2. Letter of authorization. 3. The New York State Standard Site Control Certification Form. And 3. New York State Standardized Property Owner Consent Form. Now therefore be it resolved by the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, New York, that 1. The Village Board authorizes the mayor to execute the following documents. A. Letter of intent. B. Letter of authorization. C. New York State Standard Site Control Certification Form. And D. New York State Standardized Property Owner Consent Form. 2. The execution of the aforesaid documents is non-binding and does not commit the village to any course of action regarding the potential solar energy development, and therefore is not subject to the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Gisavich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stumpniak,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 15, which is the bond resolution.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. A bond resolution dated October 25th, 2021 of the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, Erie County, New York, authorizing a sewer system capital improvements project Phase 6 in response to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation order on consent number R9-201-40128-1 at an estimated maximum cost of $1,835,000 and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $1,835,000 pursuant to local finance law to finance such purpose, such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and/or local funds received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the village treasurer.
I second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Hammernick,
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba,
Yes.
Trustee Gisavich,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Stumpniak,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
We have no department head reports tonight. We've received employment applications at the rec department, Jenna Jensen, Melissa Green, Louisa Pick, and Cora Kwiatkowski. There's no unfinished and other business. Before we get to public concerns and comments, we'll first go around to our guests tonight. And we're going to start with, where did he go?
He's over here.
There he is. Bob Brandon from Senator Tim Kennedy's office.
Good evening, Village Board. Thanks for having me again. Senator Kennedy had his monthly radio show on WUFO last Sunday. On that show, he had guests Thomas Russo, he's the infectious disease professor at UB Medical School, and Candace Johnson, the CEO of Roswell Park. They talked about the COVID-19, including COVID facts, the effectiveness and safety of vaccines, the need for booster shots, and information on flu shots. In Erie County, the vaccination rate is 61%, realizing that children under 16 are not eligible yet. And it's 84% for seniors over 65 years of age. This is pretty much in line with the state numbers. So numbers are fairly good, but they talked about on the show the need for the vaccines. It's safe, and people should get it. I know there's a lot of controversy, but I think the science says it works. The senator has been supportive of the striking healthcare workers at Mercy Hospital. He walked the lines and spoke to the strikers on the first day. And then a week later, he accompanied Tish James, the Attorney General of New York, as she showed support for the strikers also. I should say that the senator is really a strong supporter of unions, and so he was very glad to go out on the lines in support of them. Early voting started last Saturday and will continue until October 31st. The polls at Cheektowaga Senior Center are open Saturdays and Sundays, noon to 6, Monday through Friday, noon to 9 p.m. It's important to note that on back of the ballot are 5 proposals to amend the New York State Constitution. To amend the Constitution, the amendments have to be passed on 2 separate legislative sessions, and then receive a majority of votes at a general election. So the 5 propositions that are there were passed by the legislature in 2 sessions. Now they're up for a vote by the people on November 2nd. Let me go over some of the propositions. Actually, there are 5. Excuse me. Prop 1 has to do with redistricting, which must be done every 10 years after a census. The proposition proposes to include county prisoners at their last home address and cap the number of senators at 63, which is what it is right now. Regarding the independent redistricting committee plan, it is proposed to make it a majority vote as opposed to 2/3 votes to pass. And move up submitting the redistricting plan by 2 weeks to January 1st. This will give candidates more time to know what their new district will be and to allow enough time for the petition process to take place. Proposition 2, each person shall have a right to clean air and water and a healthful environment. The goal is to push government officials in making sure that the environment is given the highest level of recognition and protection. Proposition 3, remove the current constitutional rule that you must register to vote at least 10 days before an election. That would give the green light for the same-day voter registration in New York, if the legislature approves it down the line. Proposition 4 would change the state constitutional rule that says voters can ask for an absentee ballot only if they will be out of town, are ill, have a disability, are in jail, on active duty, or living out of the country. During the pandemic, the governor allowed absentee ballots if a person saw a risk of contacting COVID at an in-person voting. If the proposal gets voter approval, it would clear the way for the state legislature to make no excuse voting a permanent option. Proposition 5 excuse me, seeks to change the monetary limits on claims in New York City's civil court from $25,000 to $50,000. The reason is to reduce the caseload of the New York State Supreme Court. I hope this gives some clarity on these proposals. Many people don't vote on propositions because they don't do research or they don't understand them. It's important that voters give a yes or no on these proposals because their vote can change the Constitution. Any questions? And as always, our office is always open for any kind of comment or work that you may need.
I do have a question regarding the third shot of vaccination.
Right.
What's involved in getting a third shot?
You've got to be 65 and over or be compromised, immunocompromised, and 6 months since your last shot. And now it says you can mix and match. If you had the Pfizer, you can get the Moderna or the Johnson & Johnson or any combination thereof.
Being short 65 by a couple of months, I would need a doctor's note or something to prove that I'm compromised in some way,
Yeah.
or anybody's.
Oh, no, you don't have to be 65
No, if I'm under 65
and compromised. you
and
can still get it.
compromised,
You
but
don't
do
get-
I need some sort of proof of that?
I don't think so. They pretty much take your word for it.
Oh, okay.
I would double check on that, but you do not have to be 65 if you have a compromised condition of some sort.
Yeah, just have the senator send me a note on that so I can tell my constituents.
Okay.
Thanks. Any other? We'll get around to the general comments. They may come
Sure.
back to you for
Okay,
something.
thanks.
Thank you, Bob. Elizabeth Brinkworth from Assembly Member Monica Wallace's office.
Good evening, Mayor and trustees. Thank you as always. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Elizabeth Brinkworth, and I am Assemblymember Monica Wallace's Director of Community Affairs. Assemblymember Wallace has sponsored legislation this past session. It is Assembly Bill 1140-A, and it relates to creating the Women's Veterans Advisory Committee to support and assist the Division of Veterans Services in locating, educating, and advocating for all women veterans in this state. This past session, it passed both houses of the state legislature, which is very exciting. And we recently have been notified that the governor will potentially pick it up, hopefully, for her signature. Assemblymember Wallace is hosting 2 free community events. The first one is November 6th at 10 a.m. at the Cheektowaga Senior Center located at 3349 Broadway, Cheektowaga, New York. The event is free and open to the public. We encourage those with aging loved ones to attend. You're going to be learning about living wills, healthcare proxies, and how to have the conversation with aging loved ones, especially parents, as those conversations can be very tough. There's also going to be a free legal clinic there. We're going to have Senator of Elder Law and Justice present. The keynote speakers will be Assemblymember Wallace to open the session, essentially. And we're going to have Dr. Katie Grimm, who's with the Erie County Medical Center, present, as well as Rachel Baldassaro with the Center of Elder Law and Justice. She's going to be the one talking about living wills. And then Lynn Riker with Hospice and Palliative Care of Buffalo. They have a wide range of available options for families, so definitely take advantage if you can. Like I said, it's going to start at 10 a.m. It's going to go about 2 hours. We're just asking if everyone could please wear a mask, as it's the senior center's rule, just because they're dealing with a fragile population. If you need any further information, or your constituents do, feel free to have them give our office a call and we can provide them with that information. Lastly, another free community event the Assembly members hosting is the e-cycling drop-off event. This is going to be Saturday, December 4th from 8:30 in the morning till about 12 in the afternoon. It's going to take place at the Cheektowaga Central High School. That's on 3600 Union Road, Buffalo. Now, please note that constituents do need to register for this in advance. Constituents by now should have received an orangish looking flyer like this. It's very cute, very fall colored, with the information. But if anyone hasn't, please call, our office. I've had to help a couple seniors today register for the event. That's totally fine. If they don't have a computer, have them call us and we can assist any way that, we can. We do encourage them, though, to call our office sooner rather than later if they're having troubles, because slots are filling up. There's still quite a bit of availability, but it's first come, first serve. So on that note, if anyone has any other issues that's related to the state besides, community events, feel free to have them give our office a call and we will help in any way we can.
Great.
But thank you.
Thank you, Liz. And we'll go around the departments. Kevin Ferguson from Rec.
Just so you know, we start high school hockey coming up in another 3 weeks, so the rink will be at full bore coming in right now for the next 6 months. We have the tree lighting ceremony coming up. George from Electrical dug a trench all the way to the gazebo, to the tree, so it's going to be powered that way instead of a box on the gazebo, so it's going to be a lot better done. And my guys yesterday took care of the dirt and they landscaped it before the rain came in for the next couple of days, so it looks pretty good. I think it should be a pretty nice event. We have Audrey's going to get the 200 books. My guys are going to go pick them up on Friday. We give them out to all the kids. Audrey even gets the cookies and stuff donated from Tops. We get the hot chocolate. We're going to get the mayor we have 2 fire pits there. We have food trucks that come in.
3.
3 food trucks.
No, 2 food trucks, 3 fire pits.
Chief, I'll be in touch with you about Santa.
I don't know about 3.
I'll be in touch with you about Santa, what your duties are with him, okay?
Okay, we'll do.
So, but that's all the mayor though. But it should be a nice event. We're gonna have some people that are gonna have like crafts, and the other kids will have events. They'll be, making things inside the rink. We have an open skate for everybody that comes, for the kids. So it's a pretty nice event. They have hot chocolate. I think we got probably a couple hundred kids last time, so that was a pretty good event. So, but everything else is going pretty well.
And they're going to roast marshmallows.
Oh yeah, the marshmallows.
Yeah, we have music from Depew High School. Santa arrives about 6 o'clock on the fire truck. Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah,
Get back to doing what we do best.
yeah.
Okay. Chief Miller, welcome back.
Well, thank you. Thank you for everybody that's sent me well wishes from my wife. Appreciate that. She is on the meds. Our department and our officers are doing a great job. We're right now. We have the Halloween coming up this weekend. So anybody that's going to partake in Halloween, the hours are 6 to 8. Just ask that all the children be careful. If you're out there trick-or-treating, wear reflective material or use a flashlight or light stick. And if you're driving in the residential areas, make sure you're use caution, slow down. A lot of those kiddies like to run into the streets. Also, a little reminder, the winter parking ban will begin November 15th. But if we do get snow before that, I'd ask everybody courteous to move their cars off the street so the DPW can plow their streets. If it changes at times, if the weather is really nice, the mayor may extend that out. So we'll find out when he reads the weather report. I just want to thank the officers for dedicating their time to the village and our residents to achieve a safe and secure community. And I want to thank all the residents for their support. We couldn't do this increasingly difficult job without your support, so thank you all. The safety of the public is our highest priority, and we are committed to ensure all our residents feel safe in this village. So, thank you.
Okay, on this side, Chief Rozutek, busy night so far?
It's been a busy night, yes. I apologize to the people sitting to my right for smelling like a grease fire, chicken wings, and a pizza right now. But the fire was out, there was no damage, so. Our current roster, we have 110 firefighters in the department, 6 junior firefighters. October 2021 calls to date are 22, and year-to-date are 271. Our year-to-date structural damages are $370,000. Our firefighters continue to work hard day in and day out, responding to calls and dedicating their time to training. Our fire department continues to remain ready for any emergency we are called to, and will continue to respond with professionalism on every run. Again, I want to offer my sincerest gratitude to my firefighters for their continued dedication to the village of Depew and the residents we serve. Our training also continues day in and day out. We're developing and improving our skill set so that we may be prepared for any emergency that is presented to us. We continue training as well with our surrounding mutual aid departments, as they are a critical part of our response to any major incidents, as well as our department continuing to offer our services to them for critical incidents as well. Our department is looking into replacement of a rescue vessel to replace our current outdated and unsafe rescue boat. The boat has been in operation for the 20 years I've been in here, and as a boat operator myself, I would never put myself in it. So the boat we're looking to replace with is a small boat that can offer our firefighters the tools they need for water rescue incidents, including major flooding and creek rescues. My assistant chiefs and I are looking into an inflatable style rescue boat, which can be deployed in minutes and is a fraction of the cost of an aluminum dinghy style rescue boat like the one we have now. These rescue vessels are Coast Guard approved, have a platform aluminum floors, and can bear the weight of similar size aluminum dinghy boats as well. We've recently seen more flooding conditions, it seems to be on a weekly basis now, under several of the area bridges, as well as our local streams. We're getting residents caught in their cars, and we need to do what we can to be prepared enough. So we've seen this as something we need to look into, and just for us to maintain and be prepared for any incident that may come our way. We want the people that we're going to rescue to be safe, as well as the safety of our firefighters. For Halloween, all 3 of our fire stations will be open during trick-or-treating hours. We will have cider and candy to pass out to anyone who would like to stop by. So the residents are encouraged to bring their children and stop by next Sunday. Also, all residents are reminded to make sure you have working carbon monoxide detectors in their homes. It's that time of year again. It's something we need to do all year, but this is especially the time as the weather gets colder out. Our furnaces and boilers will be firing up again for the first time. And it's the time of the year the majority of the issues arise or are first noticed with these heating appliances. Obviously, carbon monoxide is deadly. The gas itself is colorless and odorless, meaning it cannot be detected by human scent and cannot be visually seen by the human eye. So it's imperative that every residence has working carbon monoxide detectors to forewarn the occupants living in the structure of the presence of any potentially deadly levels of carbon monoxide. And that's all I have, sir.
The water rescue, the department's been spending quite a bit more time on actual getting the guys and gals into the water.
The water rescue suits have been, the ones I used to fit in have been getting a lot more use lately. We've been having some flooding issues as well, and some of these things, some of these issues, a couple of them, the water was up to the top of the cars.
Yeah.
And it's something that a inflatable boat of that style would be much easier to deploy in that scenario to keep us safe, to keep the residents safe as well. Because once we get to them, they also got to trench through the water back, and we don't want to take any chances of anything floating underwater and hurting them. So
I look forward to your report on Thursday, and
absolutely,
we'll get that done.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. And we will go with Trustee Kasevich.
All right, I will be short and sweet. So first and foremost, I want to congratulate our police lieutenants on passing your exam. I'm thrilled to make it official tonight with you passing, so congratulations. And then the other people I would like to recognize is our Fall Fest committee. I know due to the weather, it had to be canceled, but I look forward to going to it next year. So thank you for all your hard work. That is all I have.
All right. On the other side, trustee Ziemba.
Good evening. The village hosted our own e-waste recycling event this past Saturday, and I want to thank everyone that helped. If I missed somebody, I apologize in advance. Terry, Regina, Melissa, the mayor, myself were here, and we're hoping to grow on it so it gets bigger next year. I just want to remind everyone, next week, Monday, in these chambers, public hearing on the American Rescue Plan funds. Want to hear from you. That's all I got.
Trustee Hamrick.
Yes. First of all, I want to say thank you to the Depew Fire Department for selecting my husband to the Erie County Wall of Fame with 57 years of volunteer service. Special thank you to Monica Wallace and Frank Dodaro for their commendations. This past week, we had a challenge. Mayor Peterson was challenged by Mayor Lynn Ruda of Lancaster to a food drive. This was this past week during Spirit Week for Lancaster High School and Depew High School football game. We won't talk about the score. We set the goal at approximately, beside the food, $1,000 in cash to purchase turkeys for our food pantry for our residents. Off the record so far, we think we collected at least over $1,200 in cash. We should find out tomorrow if we won or lost, but the pantries are the winners. Thank you.
Very good.
But he's got the challenge.
Yeah, she called to bug us during the pre-board meeting, but calculations haven't finalized yet.
No.
Of course, then what did you throw in about the percentage, because their school is
When
three
Mayor-
times as large as,
Yes,
Depew?
Mayor Lynn Ruda, when she called Mayor Peterson at the pre-board, we said, no, it has to be weighted. You know, your school is larger, so we got to have at least 3 times, you know, your school is 3 times larger than Depew, so we got to do a percentage here. And she goes, I don't know, that wasn't in the rules. And Mayor Peterson said, there are no rules.
Okay, Deputy Mayor Stepney.
Yeah, last Saturday, I had the pleasure, along with the mayor, Trustee Hammernick, Liz was there with Monica Wallace, and the chief as well, for the Aetna's 125th anniversary party. It was really nice. I learned a lot about the fire company, saw some really funny pictures as well that were a little bit, showed how long people have been in the fire department, and there were some good jokes. So it was a really nice event, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to attend. But I do want to take this time to make a PSA. So, as many of you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I do believe that early screenings are critical to catch cancer. A dear friend of mine actually just passed away last Monday from stage 4 colon cancer, and he was a huge advocate for early cancer screenings and diagnoses. He actually started the Buffalo Colon Corp, which is a great organization that promotes screening in everybody for all types of cancer. He was diagnosed at age 28 in 2004 with this cancer, and it was very aggressive. But while his time on Earth, he never stopped fighting for advocacy, funding for cancer research, and making sure that people did what they had to do. His wife was a good friend of mine in high school, and they have 3 kids, so if anyone can keep them in their prayers, that would be really great. And in Kevin's honor, if everyone could go and get screened if they are at high risk, it would be really appreciated. That's all.
Great. So just so everyone knows that Halloween is celebrated on the 31st, it's Sunday, in the village, just as it is in Lancaster and Cheektowaga, from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And this year, since the COVID situation is nowhere near what it was last year at this time, village is not stepping in and doing anything with Barnabas area and their Beggars Night, so I believe that area is going to be jam-packed with a lot of kids. They're doing that on Saturday, the 30th. The just as a note, just so the public understands, is that the village will be marking one side of every street in that neighborhood with no parking. It needs to be a safe environment in case there's ever an emergency situation in that neighborhood, a fire or something that involves police or ambulance, be able to get to that particular location. As Trustee Zimmer mentioned, we're having a special meeting next Monday, a public hearing, if you would, here, 7 o'clock on the 1st, for the projects for use with funding from the American Rescue Plan. So if you have an idea, do come. It will be on our streaming on our YouTube channel, just as this meeting is tonight. And then looking ahead to the 8th, which is the village board meeting, there's a public hearing for whether or not the village opts out of the sale of cannabis in stores. So again, that's open to the public. We hope to hear from residents or business owners in the village of Depew. And that's on the 8th. Okay. So now, anybody that might have a comment or a question, you can approach the podium, just state your name and address, and ask any of the people that presented tonight. Paul Sprata. 58 Argus?
Yes, 58 Argus Drive, thank you. Just a couple things. I think you covered most of this very well. On the garbage totes, are they the same quality and from the same company that the original ones came from?
Yeah, same ones.
Okay. About the tree inventory bid, if we do get trees, will they be planted in the spring or this year yet?
So it's not going to get us trees, it's just going to inventory what we have so we know where to plant. And we're actually working on putting a line item in our budget for next year to give however much allotment to plant trees, because we know it's been a pain point for residents. You can either go to Tote or Lancaster, and there's kind of, mixed reviews about whether or not they actually plant it or not. So we're going to create our own list and replant trees for residents. We have the funding, so it might only be 10 residents per year, but just kind of replenish as we can.
Okay, and will there be a selection of trees? I mean, will you have a choice as to what you want to put in, or do you just get what they have?
It might be just get what we have, because I know when we try to get seedlings, a lot of times they're sold out, so we just kind of get what's the best that we can for the area. But we might have, maybe like 1 or 2 trees to select from, but not like a catalog or anything, just
Okay.
based on price.
I would think that these would be rather mature trees rather than the,
Yeah, they wouldn't be seedlings.
I mean, these would be
Bald
ones you'd
burlap.
find at, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And-
So I think I'm sorry if I'm stepping on you a little here, but I think it's a few $1,000s, so we're able to buy maybe 20 or 30 trees perhaps.
Okay.
Out of
Yeah.
that. So if it is something you want in the right of way, to replace a tree that either had to be taken down because of the ash borer, as an example.
Yeah.
You are on the Lancaster side, so Lancaster is a little more workable. You can get with DPW and we'll be able to get the tree through them. If it's on the Cheektowaga side, we have to, it'll come from the village of Depew.
Okay. And is there an arborist involved in this at all or not?
Yeah, so we actually are working with someone right from DEC.
Okay.
So we have a local, he's our local arborist, so he's going to be involved with this inventory as well.
Okay, thank you. I think it was mentioned by a couple of yous about the grant money and the meeting next Monday. It's an important meeting. I hope a lot of village residents are here. This is an opportunity for a big chunk of money where we can get some issues that have been unresolved for years, get them done at virtually no cost to the taxpayers. So input from the citizens is important at this meeting.
We just ask that you read, and you've made available where that's located, what the money can be used for. It can't just
Right.
be used for anything off the top of your head, so.
Yeah.
But it is an opportunity to do something transformational for the village.
Yes, very good. And one other thing regarding the football game, that was an amazing attendance there. It was standing room only at that football game. Just quite an event for the village. But thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Anyone else? Any other comments? So we did make a slight error here. I'd like to do claims and accounts before, we have to go into executive session about a labor issue. So if we do claims and accounts now, and then we'll break for executive session.
Claims and accounts have been audited by the Finance Committee and are as follows.
General Fund, $658,442.60. Community Development is $2,052.85. The Sewer Fund is $2,241.40. The capital projects are $2,046.22. And the capital building renovation is $67,678 even.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Oh, just one note, this was a meeting that we were taking questions from our YouTube stream. So if anybody asks you going forward, they can type in their question, and Regina will bring it to the board's attention at the appropriate time going forward. So now if we could have, move into executive session, please.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we go into executive session at 8:07 PM.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
You know what time was it?
8:07.
8:07.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we end our executive session at 9:01 PM. No decisions were made at this time.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And adjournment for tonight's meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion to adjourn with a moment of silence for Kevin Hayes, friend of Erica, and a huge cancer advocate in Western New York.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?